is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love is what we are made of. Love is what we belong to. Love is our deepest prayer. Love.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. And may we be happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. I am happy. I am happy.
Good morning, Napa Valley. Such a good, beautiful day today in the neighborhood. So glad everybody's here. I know it's a holiday weekend, so we'll have people coming in, straggling in bit by bit. And we love all of you who joined us online. We appreciate you being here as well. Thank you so much. It is a beautiful day to be here. I have some exciting things to share with you today. Juliane, and help me with your last name, Poirier? Poirier. So French. So is here. She's a singer-songwriter, and this is her debut here at the Center for Spiritual Living. She believes in the power of song to enhance joy. So please welcome Juliane. Yeah, for opening song. And your sidekick, John. Yes. This is her significant other, John, who's here to play guitar. So they have a duet of guitars here. Everybody's going to sing. So there are lyrics on the screen, so no excuses back there.
Yeah, no excuses.
Sing a song, sing out loud, that's right, sing out strong, sing of good things, not bad, sing of happy, not sad, sing a song, make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. Just sing a song.
Dang it on me. Thank you, Juliane. It's so good to have you here, and we're going to have a few announcements, but before we begin that, we'd like to say our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen and read with me. We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all faiths. Sorry. How do you get your voice going in the morning, Juliane? Mine's not there yet. Okay. For those of you, first of all, I just want to say something else about Juliane. She does a joy choir that's in Kennedy Park for the past 4 years, and she just started a new project here, a new event that's here at our center on Fridays. We did it once, but we're going to do it again on July 18th, and it's chanting. So we'll sit in a circle just like we have meditation time or different kinds of events we have in a circle. So, and it's going to be at what time? 10 to 11. Okay, on Friday mornings. On the 18th. So that'll be fun to do. So great. And then for those of you who missed it, possibly not seen the parade, if you were part of the parade, why don't you raise your hand? It was really fun. I've got some later on. Here we are. So we use, and you'll see the signs if you go in the courtyard, the banners we had a contingent of several interfaith communities, including Napa Valley Lutheran, First Methodist, the Baha'is, the Quakers, Crosswalk, Covenant Presbyterian, Unitarian Universalist. And what Insight Meditation was there. Yeah, so a number of people that are there, and we marched in the name of the Interfaith Council, and it was interesting. We had a lot of good response. There were a lot of people there and it was fun just to walk in the parade and wave at people, and people were clapping, and of course Chris England's dog was the hit of all. We're all being serious about this interfaith message. We're going, oh, look at the puppy. So, but that's fine. It was a glorious day, and I think it's important for us to continue as the Interfaith Council, as our own community, to spread the word about liberation. Most of our communities that are part of that interfaith community are more about liberation and salvation, and the importance of that there are certain things that we can do to create our own freedom, our own liberty, and spread so together we can find a liberation from that which binds us. So I was happy. Beg your pardon? Oh, and then thank you. So we have the U.S. flag, but also this is an interfaith flag. I have it backwards, don't I? I could read it just fine. How about this? That we're going to start hanging outside for this month. So, yeah, coexist. But on it has the symbols of different religions. Not all of them, but ones that would make the word coexist. So, yeah. There are several interfaith flags in that way. And then after the service today, we have a potluck. Even if you did not bring anything, you are welcome to come, because I think usually when I do potlucks, I say bring food for 4 or 5, because there's always more than enough. But I knew also there would be people today that didn't know about it ahead of time, so that today people are preparing food for 8 to 10. So there's always plenty of food. So please join us whether you brought something or not. We have nice tables in the shade out in the courtyard. It'll be nice to break bread together, so to speak. It's always, food shared is always tastier and more fun to eat together. So, and you guys are welcome as well. On Tuesday, the Pro-Inclusion Napa group is meeting. That's the one that's facilitated by Joanne and Laura, and it's at the Napa Methodist Church, and they have a special guest, Ron Eek, who is going to present about the kindness project that he's doing, the great kindness project that he's doing. So it's Tuesday at 5:30 at the Methodist Church. And then, boy, it's coming quickly, Crush MS. This is the event we do every year. It helps support the Reeds and Julie Hare in their efforts to eradicate MS, do the research it is, and the fundraising they do, and the way we support it is to provide volunteers for it. So if you're interested in volunteering, there are still positions available, I assume. Karen, if you could stand up and just kind of wave, see her clipboard there, and sure, come on up. It is now.
Are we on? Okay. I just wanted to share with you some information. Dr. Jeffrey Dunn from Stanford, he's the chief of neuroimmunology at Stanford, and that's where people are treated for MS. And he sent us a message that I wanted to share. He's saying, our research is showing a possible ability to stop MS in its tracks. ABC News, Good Morning America, USA Today, and other major media outlets have been asking to cover the story of our data and its impact on those living with MS. And this was made possible by the support we have received from Crush MS. So I wanted to share that because that's for all of you. He wants to share that gratitude with all of you. So I want to share that gratitude also. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we still are wanting to promote the event. It's a lot of fun. In addition to being a serious thing, it's a lot of fun. So, if you know anyone who might be interested, please share the information with them. And we have a flyer that's available if you want to post a flyer someplace. I have a whole bunch of them, and so you can see me after the service for that. Thank you all again.
Thank you, Karen. It's a great event every year, and even if you're unable to volunteer, buy tickets, support it that way. Bid on things at the auction, support it in whatever way you can. So we appreciate your engagement in that as part of our outreach, our Compassion Action Project. So good to be that. And also, Sean is here in the back, and he'll be out after the service. If you have any questions about donations to the Uganda School Project, we're still accepting donations for that. And he and Mary are coordinating and ready to get it and send it. So now is the time to make sure if you want to be involved in that to talk to Sean or Mary about it. Please know that we are founded in prayer, an affirmative prayer that knows the deepest truth about you that's sourced in the Spirit. If you so wish to have prayer, have a concern for yourself or somebody else, or want to add more of something in your life, feel free to stay after the service to pray with practitioners. Fill out a prayer request in the lobby, one online, and we will be in prayer for you, the practitioners and I. So please know we hold it as a sacred honor and a sacred practice to do that. So, and now we'll begin the sacred part of our service with our music. But she also has this deeper chanting that she will share with us now.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. I'd like to open today's service with a little prayer. And if you feel comfortable, just close your eyes and take a deep breath, that God breath that is everywhere present for us always. And know that today is a glorious day, and that as we sit in this room and experience this wonderful tune by Juliana, that we recognize the spirit that moves within each and every one of us, that we are open to receive today's message, and knowing that whatever is here is all good, that we give thanks for it, and so it is. Full magazine, especially important during these times when the news is a little awkward. Get away from the news and pull this out, because every day there's a wonderful message for us. Today's message talks about how our life is limitless, and it's a gift. And it's a gift to us, but we have to, we're allowed to design it, and in order to design it, we need to think about what we want to experience in our lives. And so, what I ask you, this book asks us, what if you knew for certain that everything that you worry about is nothing, that you can actually believe that all the goodness is here right now? Wouldn't that just free you up to be who you really are? And I take this to heart because I'm an artist and I can do all kinds of things. I sew, I paint, I
make things, I build things, I wreck things, and I play music sometimes. And so one of the things that my grandson's wife asked me was, she bought a designer dress to wear to a wedding in Italy. And she only paid $100 for it, but it didn't fit her up on the top. And she was reluctant to take it to a tailor because she knew it would cost her hundreds of dollars. So I said, hey, I'll give it a shot, give it to me. And then I thought, oh boy, what did I get myself into? We had a little meditation about it. And I worked on the dress, and I realized this is really a tough job. So I called in the wisdom of my deceased sister-in-law, who was a seamstress. And I'm telling you, Bonnie showed up, and I was able to fix that dress. It looks great. And I haven't got photos for you yet, but I will next week. Anyway, I'm just putting it out there that if you have a talent, use it. Use it for good. And it's like, I brought some fruit today from my one fruit tree, 2 fruits. Yeah, I know. And if you eat a plum, you better use it with a napkin because they're juicy. But last year, I decided I didn't want to mess with picking up all the dead fruit on the ground. I thought, no, that's a mess. But this year, I changed my mind, and I said, you know what? That tree makes good fruit, delicious. And even if I can't eat it all, and the squirrels and whoever wreck half of it, I'm going to water it this year. So I did, and I've got fruit. And I have a trash can full of fallen fruit, too, but that's okay. It's going in the compost. So I'm just saying to you to go a little deeper within you, to find the joy that's already there within you, and use that. Make your life and the life of people around you better by who you are and how you show up. And so I just give thanks for that. And so it is.
And now more music from Juliane.
Love is but a song we sing, fear's the way we die. You can make the mountains ring or make the angels cry. Sing along with me. Oh, the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come, some may go, we will surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. Listen. You hold the key to love and fear,
all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people, now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people, now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now. Thank you.
So I love the message of the songs, but also as we continue to be a voice for getting together with love, a place of love. And that I think the reason why I spend quite a bit of time on the Interfaith Council is I think it's an important message that we can come together without differences, without fear, without competition between churches, between different faith organizations. So we could come together in this idea that we are here for to make a difference in the world. I think that our own organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, has gone through some evolution that I am happy with. It started, Ernest Holmes started over 100 years ago, pulling together a number of philosophers and the common truths among all faiths, and coming up with a integrated philosophy that integrated also psychology and these common truths among all religions. And it was a great start. And he said, this is open at the top. Just like I have pulled this together, you can continue adding new things and adding new ways of opening as new science, new psychology, new technology comes forth. And we have done that as well. And I think the biggest switch that I'm happy about, are we doing okay here? Maybe make sure all the other channels are muted other than just mine. That the importance of, well, okay, for instance, Ernest Holmes, in his declaration of what I believe, and that we've adopted as what we believe, there's a sentence in there that says, we control our conditions through the power of the mind. And while we influence things, we also know that we can't control our individual conditions, because there's 7 billion people in this planet that are also part of the consciousness. And what makes a difference is not trying to do things individually. And it kind of started around a time like Henry Ford and the Rockefellers, that are a time of self-determination and, you know, I can do it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it kind of philosophy. And we moved to, if we do it together, we can make a difference. That I individually can do very little, but I might switch to the microphone here because I think what I know is if it sounds that bad in the room, it's even worse online. So, the idea that what we can collectively do together as this community, as many communities who resonate with this idea of inclusivity, of love, of finding that the innermost God and the outermost God, or you know, that feeling of the allness of God is the same God. The God that right now that the Presbyterian and the Methodist and Crosswalk are talking about is the same God. And if we can agree to that kind of basic principle and let it be the standard, then there's going to be less conflict in this world. And we find greater kindness and compassion and understanding and insight. And that's what we're trying to do as a community, to be part of that, but also our part individually that we can do. Whether it's with Crush MS or our own Sip and Savor or whatever that is, that we continue to do this work together and the importance of that. And we want to continue to find our place of freedom and liberation by just doing our part in what we do. And that we find this truth of who we are, the here on 4th of July weekend, the idea that we are seeking liberation both personally, that we can find through mindfulness, the spiritual tools we have, but also as we together know that a group consciousness does make a difference. And I'll talk more about that. But today, I'm talking primarily about finding, if I can find my slide here, I'm running around, there it is, going treasure hunting. And the idea that, Diana, you set it up perfectly, that we have an inner wisdom within us that we can find that's tapped into our ancestors, but our ancestors, our own inner guide within us, is just sourced in the divine. It's not we're making this stuff up. It's sourced in the universal consciousness that is in all. And that if we're willing to take a moment to go within and find this truth within us, this treasure, if you want to call it that way, that we can find within. But we're not going to find it outside of ourselves. You're not going to find it on AI, on the computer. It may be a source of a certain information, but it's not the source of inner wisdom. You're not going to find it on the news, on television, or a Google search. You're going to find it with the search within you. And that's the trick. Donovan, the couple songs you were singing were from the 60s. Donovan had a simple children's song, yet it's so profound, and it has a line in it that says, everybody is a part of anything. Everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can have it all if you let yourself be. Why not be free? So everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can have it all if you let yourself be. So with that idea, I wanted to know that I tend to tell bad jokes in this community. And I thought this was the best time to throw out at least one bad joke, because the big tomatoes haven't ripened yet. So no one's going to be throwing tomatoes at me. So in thinking about this idea of treasure hunting, I heard a story. You can believe it or not. It's your choice. So it was about a large and powerful kingdom who conquered their wealthy neighbor, but only to discover its treasure was all hidden away. And only the count of the kingdom that they conquered knew where the gold was hidden. So the conquerors took him to the dungeon, placed his head on a chopping block, and told him, "This is your last chance. Tell us where the gold is, or off comes your head." Beads of sweat slithered down the count's face, but still he said nothing, that he didn't think they would actually do it. The captain gave the signal, and the executioner brought the hatchet down, and just as he did, the count's courage broke, and he blurted out, "No, wait, I'll tell you where the gold is, I'll tell you." But it was too late. The axe came down, off came the head, and no one got the gold. And the moral of the story, you ready for this? Don't hatchet your count before he chickens. Don't hatchet your count before he chickens. Right? So, there's more where that comes from, but I'll move on. Mythology always tells you, from the movies to fairy tales we read, that the treasures are hidden in the deepest of oceans, the highest of mountains, and the darkest of caves. But where is the best place to hide the treasure? Where do we really find it? Is within. There are many cultures that tell the same story. I'm always fascinated when that happens. You know, this is long before there was any kind of internet or even sharing of sacred text or stories, because mountains and rivers kept cultures from communicating with each other. There was no telephone, any way to communicate with anybody. But yet, certain stories and different versions of them showed up because of the universal nature of them. And this is one of them. I first heard it from the Hopi Nation that are in Arizona, northern Arizona, so I like to tell it in this one. So this is the way they tell it. The Creator in Sky World said, I want to hide something from humans until they're ready for it. It's a realization that they can create their own reality. But I'm not sure they can handle it if they find it too easy. So the eagle said, give it to me, I'll take it to the highest mountain. And the Creator said, no, one day they'll find it there. And salmon said, I'll bury it in the bottom of the ocean. Creator goes, no, they'll go there too. Buffalo said, I will bury it on the vast Great Plains. And the Creator says, they will cut into the skin of the earth and find it there even. But grandmother who has no physical eyes but sees with spiritual eyes, says, put it inside of them. Humans will search everywhere for it, but they won't look for the divinity inside of themselves. So the Creator says, it is done. Since then, humans have been going up and down the earth, digging, diving, climbing, exploring, searching for divinity without realizing it lies within themselves the whole time. And yet what I know, the journeys I have taken that have been either metaphorically or realistically climbing mountains and going snorkeling in the ocean and looking at the amazing wildlife that is around, and my own searching spiritually. The search has opened up my heart so that I could find it within. I'm not sure without the search if I ever would have found it. There's something about that by the time we find it within, we already know it. Or we discovered it about the same time simultaneously. And yet it's not a one-time discovery. I keep looking. Like Diana's process, I keep looking within. I was in Hawaii one time snorkeling, and I shared this in my emails. It might be repetitive for people who read my email goes out on Fridays. But I was snorkeling around the reefs and the turtles. It was just like I was like in heaven. It's just amazing if you ever snorkeled in Hawaii or even swam in Hawaii. It's beautiful. And I went away from the reef and was in some deeper water and was looking through my goggles, and I didn't really see anything, but I had that intuitive sense to dive down deep, and I went down to about 10 feet, and suddenly the whole floor of the ocean picked up and started moving. I panicked and swam quickly up to the surface, and I was there treading, just trying to get a sense of what was going on, like what had just happened. And as I breathed, I realized it was a giant manta ray, whose wingspan far outspanned my 6 feet. I don't know, 10, 12, 15 feet wide. I have no idea, but it felt like the whole ocean floor was coming up. And when I realized what it was, I went back down. Of course, it was long gone. But I replayed in my mind that majestic wings. That's what they look like and what people call them, and that are just majestic, this beauty that it was. And I was grateful for that experience and my willingness to dive back down and be willing. And since then, it's been a metaphor. When I dive down, when I'm willing to find the truth that's deeper within me, that I can find this uniqueness, this power, this love that's there. I also, when snorkeling in Hawaii, from further deeper, thank God, saw my first hammerhead shark. And at first I panicked, no, you know what? It's just down there swimming around. It looks pretty happy. was interested more in the fish around it than me, and so I just watched it for a minute, and then I go, okay, am I supposed to swim quickly away, or make a lot of noise? No, not make a lot of noise. So just quietly swim away. I'm not saying I was going to test my fate in that moment, but they're not supposed to be man-eaters. But I still, it was a pretty amazing shark. The beauty of them, the strange look they have their head. But there's I think as we move into the value of what's within us, the treasures that are there. I know that there's a modern geocaching people call that people go and find these different spots with phones or with different kinds of locating devices. And there's one here in Napa Valley I saw that's up in Skyline Park. I don't know. It'd be fun to go look for it, but I don't know where exactly it is. But I think people are fascinated with treasure hunting, whether it's real treasure hunting or not. I know when growing up, I actually knew a person who was a treasure hunter who took we lived on the Gulf Coast then, and he had a boat that would go out and find treasure. And whenever because I was a curious kid, I was always asking questions about it. And whenever I talked about the location, he got really quiet. Like he didn't want to share that with anybody, even if I was only like 6 years old. So, and later, after we moved away from the coast, we heard that he did find a treasure, and it was worth a lot of money. Of course, the government seized it when they found out about it. And I always wondered about him because we didn't keep up contact. He was a friend of my father's. I didn't keep up contact with him. Was that enough? The journey of finding it, was that enough that he was successful, or did he actually want the wealth that came from it? Maybe a little of both. But what I know is that we always have a fascination with wanting to seek and find. And it's we have to attune our bodies sometimes, tune our awareness to something. My Uncle Phil, who's passed now, but I was with him when I was about 8 or 9 in Mesa Verde National Park, which is a cliff dwelling of the Anasazis, many years ago in western Colorado. And millions of people had been there already, and we were just walking along a common path. He is a geologist and an amateur archaeologist. I'll put it that frame. And he just reaches down and pulls out an arrowhead. I'm going, millions of people have been here. How did you see that, and how come nobody else saw that? And of course, being a national park, he couldn't keep it, so he shared it with the rangers, and they go, "Where did you find it? What?" They were amazed. But it's because he had this training to attune himself to what he was looking for, the size, the shape, the type of rock. And I think that's what we need to do, that we can attune ourselves. And the best way to attune ourselves to that wisdom within, the first step is to come back to our center, our spiritual home. Now, I know a lot of people consider this a spiritual home. We call ourselves a center for spiritual living, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the center of our being. And that can be found when you're in a park, when you're a car at a stoplight, or you have a special place in your home, an altar that you have. Just to surrender and allow that to be. When I was in Austin this week, a couple weeks ago. Oh, this is a quote I always like. So Ram Dass, he was a spiritual guru. If you're not familiar with him, one of my favorite quotes from him: "We're all just walking each other home." And a lot of people confuse this with that we're walking each other to our transition to our next life, to death, basically. But really, he's talking about we're supporting each other to come home to our spiritual understanding, our spiritual life, and that we can go there together in this life that we know. That we're all just walking each other home, and the beauty of this. So when I was in Austin with my granddaughters and my son and his wife, you can't see his wife, she's right behind me. Somebody's big head got in the way, I guess, here. But my son with a hat on, and then my 2 granddaughters, the one that's closest to me, Sadie, who's 16, and Vivian, who's in the back next to my son, is 14. And it was a great trip because they were out of their element, so they couldn't go back to their room or something, you know, and or didn't. And they're pretty good about that anyway. But it was this. We're on a miniature train ride, a 14 and 16-year-old with me on our, you know, because it's a tradition in Austin to go on this particular train ride. But still, it was fun to be able to do that. And then also we went thrifting together. Now what that means for me is they were busy shopping at Goodwill and different kinds of stores like that we went to. And I would look at a few things, but basically I would be looking for a chair to sit down while they did it, but they would share with me what they did. But I did find this fascinating book, so I was drawn to this, that it was called Honest Prayers to a God Who Listens. And it's by a woman named Bunmi Layatan, I think is how you say her name. She grew up in California, but is now a mom and raises her family in Canada. And she's always been an advocate for being real with God. But that didn't come easily because she was a teenager in California, an immigrant, and struggling with life, some mental health challenges. And she went to church, but the God that was, the angry man that was in the clouds, she couldn't resonate with. And didn't comfort her, didn't offer any kind of system of beliefs that helped her in any way. So through that, she became more removed, and she actually attempted suicide, but survived through it. But what's now, of course, I don't advocate this as a spiritual path, but for her, it ended up being that way. She was in a coma, and she ended up in a near-death experience where she met a personal God, a sense of the love that is healing, present, gentle, and powerful, personal and impersonal. She says we have inadequate words to capture how to describe this love that there is. But out of it, she's a divergent thinker, and she realized this God that she knew now accepted her just the way she was. So she found refuge away from church rather than in church. And she wrote this book called Dear God, Honest Prayers to a God Who Listens. And I love her style of this. So this is some of her prayers. Dear God, forgiving someone who isn't sorry feels like washing a car that isn't mine. Why should I do it? God, please help me to forgive, if only because the anger is slowly but surely choking me. So the way she approaches this is the invitation to this personal God to move through her. And I love this because although she addresses God as almost outside of her, she's inviting God in her to do this work to move through her because she can't do it by herself. But the God in her can empower her and guide her and give her the wisdom to know how to do it. She also has this prayer. Dear God, sometimes faith is like hiking up a mountain, and other days it's the slide down. Today it's the latter. I am enjoying the breeze on my face. Another one. Dear God, any identity I've claimed or worn that is false, any mask I've molded to fit over my face, I ask you to bring to my awareness that I recognize it and then burn it. I like the part of self-awareness that she wants to include in her prayers. She continues like this. Dear God, life has a way of making us feel worthless. The dust collected over time, the shame. Some days I don't feel human. I feel like a wounded animal. I know that's not what you called me to be. I know this is not my identity. I know I have your love, not because I deserve it, but because I am your love. But this free gift is easy to unwrap, but hard to put on. It makes everything else in my closet look old. I don't feel like the person you say I am. They call this an imposter syndrome, but it's more than that. I keep picking up the past you told me to put down. Help me find belonging in your identity of me. in the identity of wholeness, of love. So I love this concept that she says that help me decipher lies about who I am, so when they drift by, I can avoid the temptation to reach out my hand and claim them again. Help me remember who you say I am. And maybe that's the best prayer we can ever say. Help me remember who I really am. And this is this coming back home and discovering the treasures within ourselves. I mean, it can be as simple as you sitting down in a quiet moment and asking for a sense of spirit, your sense of higher self to come. And it's not as coming to you, but sometimes you need that thought. It's always there, right? But maybe we're inviting an awareness of it. And pulling, thinking of something that's concerning you, and imagine that a treasure box is within you, and ask Spirit to fill the treasure box with that which is needed. And when you open that box, it could be a word, it could be a feeling, it could be an object that is representative of wisdom. It could be anything, but sit with that and open it up. It can be that simple to allow yourself in this idea of deeper self, this deeper being. And it's in that we discover the truth. Now, this image that's on the screen here is interesting because what it says is that if a light shines on a cylinder like this, if it shines from one direction, it shows it's a box. If it shines another direction, it shows it's a circle. Now, those are true. You can't disagree with the image, but it's not the truth. So the truth is something deeper. It's a holistic view of things. It's a deeper look. It's an allowing that to be. A deeper way of knowing the truth. I often turn to Emerson in moments of wanting to remember this idea of self-reliance. So we rely on ourselves, on our not our own little self, but on our divine self within. That is a deeper truth in this way, a deeper knowing. Madeline Dingle is also a quote that truth is what is true, and it's not necessarily factual. Truth and fact are not the same thing. Truth does not always contradict nor deny facts, but it goes through and is beyond facts. And so Emerson talks about this too. He says, trust thyself, every heart vibrates to an iron string. And the power which resides in us is new in nature, and we do not know what we can do, nor we know until we have tried it. What I must do is all that concerns me, not what people think. You will always find those who think they know what is your duty or what is best for you. Here's my favorite part of Emerson. It is easy in the world to live after other people's opinions, right? Easy to do that. It's also easy to live in the solitude, to live after our own. But the great person is they who in the midst of a crowd keeps the perfect sweetness of the independence of solitude. The perfect sweetness of independent solitude. So within the crowd, within the people around there, just be centered and be at home, be in this way, and find the deeper truth of who you are. And ask yourself in these moments, is this true? Is this really true? When you have a belief you're not sure of. And how do you respond to the world if you believe that? And how would you respond to the world if you didn't believe that? I have a simple example of this. On Friday before the parade, I had done quite a bit of work ahead of time. I had put out, I had the banners printed, and I was the one who signed up for the interfaith group there. So I had to get there early to get registered and get the banners out. And this was, I don't know, 7:45, and people had to be there before 9. And I realized I was all by myself. And I was going, well, okay. Nobody's going to show up. Nobody cares about this. It's only me. Maybe somebody will show up, but it won't be enough people, and it won't be all these communities. And I'm going, what am I doing? What am I saying? Is this true? Yeah, it's true. There's nobody here. Is it really true? No, it's not really true. And so I'm asking myself, how am I living thinking that it's true? Well, I'm closed off and scared and kind of angry and mad at the world. Well, how's that working for you, Jay? Not well at all. So what if I believe the opposite of that I am supported, even if nobody shows up, which I think they will? How would my life be different if I believe that I am supported in this universe by, whether any person shows up or not, by a divine being that's always with me, revealing the highest and best? Right? Well, I suddenly had this joyous thing by myself, and then people started showing up, and we ended up with a group of about 40 people, which was great. But I was ready, I was open, and this is what the journey is for us. Are we open to the treasure? Even if we found a treasure, would we be open to it if we lived out of this constricted life? This belief system that closes us off. So just ask yourself, what is it that allows me to be open? What belief system is this, and what doesn't work anymore, to let it go completely? The practitioners and I have been holding a phrase that Starhawk, I first heard from her in a song. And it goes like this: what serves life will stand, what does not will fall. The power is in our hands. Love changes all. And what I love about this is I can just say, I'm going to let the universe support life. And I'm not going to be a distractor from that. I'm going to know my own truth, do my own part, and I'm not going to be a worrier or fearmonger or in kind of a craziness in my head. Because I know there's a divine order that's happening, that in the long run it's working out. And I need to be in a place where my belief system, and I'm not making it up, I'm not being Pollyanna. I know there's an easy to do a spiritual bypass on that. But I can feel in my body that life is moving and shifting and creating something new at all times. So what I'd like to do to end today is I would like us to just repeat, after I say the phrase, I want you to repeat it after me. And Sean, we're not going to do the closing video today, okay? So repeat after me. What serves life will stand. What does not will fall. The power is in our hands. Love changes all. The other thing I like about this is the power is in our hands, not my hands. Because if I get into I have to do this, then I'm going to go crazy, I guarantee you. I've been there before. I know what it feels like to think that I alone think I can do something. So it is our hands. So let's do it together again. What serves life will stand. What does not will fall. The power is in our hands. Love changes all. Love changes all. And we know that to be the truth as I go into prayer. And what I know is the divine is within each of you. It's within us collectively. So within you, there's this treasure, and within this community, there's this treasure. Within the interfaith community, there's a treasure that we are tapping into, and we are allowing this treasure to be communicated, opening up, and being this magnificence that we are the spiritual magnificence, this life vibration that is vibrating at a new and higher level. And we know it is Spirit through us that's creating through us, that's guiding us, that's being through us. It's allowing us to do great things. And today and always we are grateful for this. We are grateful for this truth and grateful for this understanding of all life. This wisdom that is within us, individually and collectively. And in this gratitude and love we say, and so it is.
It's a treasure I got one day. This song, and it happened to be on the solstice. On the longest day, at the loss of words, in the gloaming of the solstice rose 1,000 birds. They filled my heart and made me cry. In the gloaming of that solstice, I remember I could fly. And so I rose, and so I flew, bewilderment in every breath I drew. That moment opened me, supposing I were free. I get weighed down entirely by all these stones I stack upon my curiosity. Yet something calls me to the sky. Enormity inviting me to wonder and to rise. And so I rose, and so I flew, bewilderment in every breath I drew. That moment opened me, supposing I were free. On the longest day, at the loss of words, in the gloaming of the solstice rose 1,000 birds. They filled my heart and made me cry. In the gloaming of that solstice, I remember I could fly.
Along with it. Oh. Okay, how about now if I stay up here? I promise I'll be a good boy. I'll stay right here. This is a time in our service when we encourage you to be part of the law of circulation. If the ushers could come forward. What we know in your giving is the law of circulation and reciprocity, that which you give comes back to you it also is part of the journey and the treasure hunting that opens up your life in that way. So we take there are many ways to give, and whether you give in the past or today, we raise our hand and put it over our heart to represent that and repeat the affirmation that's on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
I reach for joy and I rise, singing my gratitude up to the skies. Every breath is a blessing, and love is my guide. I am grateful and glad I'm alive. We reach for joy and we rise, singing our gratitude up to the skies. Every breath is a blessing, and love is our guide. We are grateful and glad we're alive. Sing it. We reach for joy and we rise, singing our gratitude up to the skies. Every breath is a blessing, and love is our guide. We are grateful and glad we're alive. We are grateful and glad we're alive.
Yes. We are grateful and glad we're alive. And that's an original song. You do write some of your own songs, the one right after my talk and this one. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Thank you. So we honor this time we have together. This is the first of the month. I might be a little loud there. I think now that it's working too well. So that we honor everybody who, at the beginning of the month, who might have their birthday in July. Does anybody have a July birthday? We have this rather famous July. Is it July? Oh, some July birthdays in there. There's like 4 people in our community that have July, what is it, 6th? 7th. July 7th, that is the famous day. And then yours is on the 19th. And so we have several. What are the numbers back there for July? 24. Yay. All right. What? Just the 24th. Okay. And how about anniversaries? Do we have any anniversaries in July? Yes? And what? How many years? 43. You and Randy. It's great. And my and Michelle's anniversary is in this month also. It is our 14th, and it'll be on the 9th. I better get the date right there, right? And we're going away for a few days, the next few days, up in the Tahoe area. So, and also we honor anybody who might have a sobriety recovery anniversary as well. We honor that path that you're on. And no, it's anonymous. We don't ask you to raise your hand, but we honor and appreciate that in that way. Yes.
I just wanted to bring up close for the Joy Choir. Every other Wednesday, you couldn't be anywhere better than Kennedy Park under the redwood trees, and with total inclusivity, because it doesn't matter if you sing or not.
So Peggy, for those online, she just to put a plug in for the Joy Choir that sings at the Kennedy Park every other Wednesday. At what time? What time?
15.
And it's this Wednesday?
And it'll be this Wednesday.
All right, great. So everybody's welcome to do that.
Bring your own chair.
Bring your own chair. Okay, all right. That's great. That's great. So we have a blessing for those whose birthday it is. We raise our hands, birthdays and anniversaries. We say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community. And so it is. We also celebrate, I meant to include people who are new to our community, and Julianne and John, we sure appreciate you being here, and we are grateful for your presence in our community. Anybody else that is new here? I didn't see anybody right off. If the practitioners could come up. They are available for prayer after the service. If you would like prayer, just keep your seat. Let other people file out, and they'll be available after that. And then we have the picnic, so please join us whether you brought food or not. I already saw there's plenty of food for like 3 times as many people, so feel free to join us for that. And now we welcome our children. Some secret going on here.
All people are beautiful.
Oh, all people are beautiful. Well, we think you're beautiful too. So we raise our hand.
So I just want, real quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
Tony is going to teen camp, and we just want to thank you, especially Tony. We raised enough money to get
Wait, on the microphone, please.
We raised enough money to get her to camp, and we're so happy about that. So
Yay.
thank you.
Thank you.
And when is camp?
The 19th.
19th of July. All right.
not see her again, so this is
A microphone.
We may not see her again, so this is like her send-off. So I'm just really happy for you.
So we include Tony in this. We raise our hands and we say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here from you. And we'll add you to our prayer list and all the people, all the teens in the camp. So, as well as, it's hard not to think of the teens that were in the camps in Texas, and so we hold them in our prayers too. So, knowing all is blessed, highest and best for all. And now we have a closing song that you'll recognize as being familiar, but it's kind of a fun way to close today. So let's all stand up and sing this with.
Sing, yes.
Yeah. But let's start with the community affirmation, which I say, repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me
Right now,
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love. I am here to be a blessing. I'm so grateful. And so it is.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Day. Many blessings.
what we belong to. Love is our deep